Users with more experience can add external code and extend the functionalities offered by Kwik out of the box. In order to do so, you can come here in the Add External Code. You should always name a code that you just enter. For example, alert user, and you need to point to an external file. This external file should be a Lua file or a text file. For example, I'm going to point to this project here. Then I need to inform where this code will be rendered in the final code generated by Kwik. Before layers means that this code will be rendered before all the layers and groups creation. This is nice, for example, for creating variables or to do things that don't necessarily need to be associated with layers or with things that are not yet created. If you're familiar with Storyboard API, this is going to be rendered in the scene create. After layers mean that the code will still be created in the scene create phase, but after the creation of all layers and groups. So you should use this option when you are gonna need something that refers to a layer or to a group previously created. So this way the layers are already created and your code will not have any kind of issues point to something that potentially could not exist yet. After buttons and actions is the place where you can create functions, actions that will run in the scene show phase. It will render after all buttons and actions created by Kwik. So this can be used, for example, to point to actions that you have created in Kwik or to buttons that previously were created. And lastly, you have the disposal. The disposal will be rendered in the scene hiding, the Storyboard API. And this is pretty much to dispose event listeners or things that you don't need more while switching to another page. And that's it. If you're familiar with Kwik 2 or the previous beta, you would see this screen here like this. In the past, we offer the ability to enter code directly here. However, in order to do so, this previous editor was made with Flash, which required Flash setup and lots of configuration that most users would never use. Also, because Flash is being continuated by Adobe inside Photoshop development, so it makes no sense to continue with that. So you may ask, what happens with my code that I had previously in Kwik? Am I gonna miss this? What Kwik does now is it checks if the user, you, had a previous code entered here, and if it's the case, it will automatically create an external file for you with the content of this and will put to you the same way here. Let me show an example. This 521 here, as you can see, there's a code, but when I use this in Kwik Next 521, you don't see it anymore. However, now the code 521, the previous code that you have, is automatically added in an external file. Let me show it to you. Here we go. It was just created here. So you don't need to do anything else than just edit your code and click create, because if you do not do that, we are not going to have it render the same way. However, while exporting, Kwik will check if you forgot to do the create here, it will render your external code the same way. So all you have to do again is to create.